Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 25 of the Debt-Free Dad podcast. So I want to drop this statistic on you. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Americans spend $3,000 per year on going out to eat. That comes out to $250 per month, or if you want to get really technical, $8.21 a day. That's a lot of money. Now, people love eating out. We love eating out. So we are going to be giving you 6 tips today to help you eat out while on a budget and also still being able to build that emergency fund and pay down debt. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Debt-Free Dad podcast, where we're helping normal, everyday people learn how to save money and kick debt so they can live a happier and stress-free life. Now here's your host, Debt-Free Dad, Brad Nelson.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's show. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, and Instagram. Just search Brad Nelson, Debt-Free Dad, and we would love to connect with you. And speaking of those groups and these social media platforms, going out to eat and eating out is usually a hot topic. And it's admittedly probably one of the areas where most people say that they overspend a lot. So let's talk a little bit about this eating out. Now, let's be clear. The point of this podcast is not to tell you to stop eating out altogether. That would be completely unreasonable. It's just not going to happen. But instead, let's eat out with a plan, and let's make sure that we aren't going into debt to fund our eating out habits. And there's really nothing like eating food now and paying interest on it for months and years to come, right? No, we don't want to do that. Eating out also shouldn't be stopping you from saving money and paying off your debts. So I don't know about you guys, obviously, but before we started working on some of this stuff, eating out was a huge issue. And even to today, it still can be when it comes to busting our budget. What about you guys?
That was our biggest budget buster. And I can honestly say we spent more than $250 a month. So we were over the average. And we've cut it down. But if we're not careful, we can get ourselves into trouble.
Same here. I mean, we thought we probably spend a couple $100 a month. And I mean, when we went through and printed out our bank statements when we first started this, I mean, there were months where it was $400, $500, $600. You know, my wife was working in real estate at the time, so she had off hours. I mean, it adds. We had a family with 3 kids. I mean, stopping at Burger King or a fast food joint a couple times a week, or for that many kids. I mean, it adds up really fast.
Yeah, there's no question. I'm not a big fast food person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it, because I certainly do. But we don't, if we go out to eat, we typically don't go to fast food type places. We will occasionally, but the majority of where we go is usually to more sit down, not super nice places, but just more of a sit down meal. But I was shocked, Ryan. You're right. I mean, when I went into some of these fast food places, and there's times where I don't go in there for a long period of time. All of a sudden I go in there and it's price shock. It's where do these prices come from? My kid wants a Happy Meal and it's $7 now. It's this is crazy. It's there's no way we could afford to do this all the time, and we're debt free. I was this is a lot of money. So yeah, I was pretty price shocked by that. There's no question.
Yeah, my kids ask for McDonald's once in a while. We just actually went just a couple weeks ago, and I got them all something, and she's is 29 something. I'm what? Yeah. For 3 meals?
Yeah, I just drove through yesterday. I got a few drinks, and it was over $10.
Yeah,
for drinks. That's it.
Yeah, this is obviously fast food, and I mentioned $7 for a Happy Meal. I know it's probably not $7, but I'm exaggerating. But the stuff's expensive, and that doesn't.
You were talking Canadian.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was talking Canadian dollars. There you go. But even some of the drinks and stuff, you think of some of the major coffee chains, and just that stuff is pricey. So again, some people, they beat me up, or I don't want to do that because you're going to take away my going out to eat. It's no, that's not what this is about. This is about, still being able to do that stuff, but be able to do it and still save and get out of debt and all of that. So the first tip we want to share with you, and it's absolutely critically important, is to set an amount. We're going to bring up that big bad B word in the budget, but you got to set an amount every month. If if you can afford it and you're going out to eat, budget is $250 a month, then by all means, that's what it is. If it still allows you to save and pay off debt, there's nothing wrong with that. But the point is that you set an amount that you can afford to pay cash for, and you don't go over that amount. That's the key. The hard part with setting the amount is the big NO word, is the no, right? And when the money runs out, that's when that gets really challenging, is being able to say no, because what happens? The kids ran late, or something came up at night, you don't have time to make dinner, or a friend invites you out, right? You guys know, this all happens, right?
Oh yeah, I remember one time saying no to friends when we were over our budget. Oh, not over, but we spent what we had budgeted for eating out that month, and the response immediately when I said no, we're not going to do that budget thing. Those were the exact words out of her mouth, and it hurt me. I was like, what? But we had to say no, and it was the best thing for us moving forward.
Oh, that social influence and peer pressure, right?
Definitely.
That budget thing. Yeah. Next tip is all about meal planning, and not so much meal planning at home, but really planning out how you're going to use that restaurant money. So, and this is going to be different for everybody. If you have kids, what your schedule looks like, what types of activities are you involved in? How you use it, when you use it is all going to be different for everybody. But the point is that kind of like how you plan out your money with your budget, you almost want to have somewhat of a plan for you're going out to eat money too. Now, you don't have to be super strict with this and like budget every penny here, but just have an idea. So, your activity level, how many times you're going to go out to eat, it matches what you're budgeting for. You're not setting yourself up for failure. And I think that's one of the biggest things, especially for most people as they get started with budgeting, is that they either budget too much or they don't budget enough. Typically, we see it's not enough, and they're not reasonable with the number, and then they ended up messing up their budget for the month. And it's not just food, but food's a big one.
Yeah. So this weekend, we just have a funny story. We don't want to wing it when we try to meal plan. So Saturday or Sunday, I'd worked all day in the yard. Just exhausted, and the plan was to cook dinner, and I'm just like, I'm not cooking, let's just get something. So then we ordered from a restaurant. We're just like, oh, we'll go pick it up, we won't go out, we'll just bring it home. I go get it, or go online, I order it. $54 for dinner for the 5 of us to go pick it up and bring it home. And it's just, and it was no plan to spend $54, but that's like a good chunk of our eating out budget for every 2 weeks. We get paid every 2 weeks. So that's a good chunk of it right there in one meal. And that, just so I would definitely have an idea of, hey, we're going to cook these nights and go out these nights, and have an idea of where you're going. Cause in the heat of the moment, it was like, oh, this sounds good. And there goes $55.
Yep. It's crazy. It heads up just so fast. And you would think it's some of these unlikely places, like just some of these places that I just had in my head at one time that I thought were a little cheaper. They're not cheap anymore, especially when you got kids. There's no question. So the next tip is really starting to look for some deals. And this kind of goes along with what Ryan just said is, if you can start working and making a plan as to, how many times you're going to go out to eat or when those times are going to be, start looking for deals at your favorite places. There's a lot of them that offer so many different deals. There's plenty of places that offer certain deals for kids to eat for free or for 99 cents, or, there's all sorts of different opportunities that are out there. I know for me and our family, we love this little diner that's literally, 4 blocks from our house, but it is so reasonable. The 4 of us can eat there for less than $20. And it is amazing food. This is like an old school diner. It's not fancy. It's a hole-in-the-wall place. But the food is absolutely awesome. And we know that we're going to get a good meal there for a really cheap price. So for us, that's kind of one of our go-to places, knowing that we're not going to have that price shock for sure.
Yeah, we look for, we also look for, I used to not like coupons. But again, we like eating out. So if you like eating out, man, there's some great coupons for that sort of stuff, look for the weekly specials. There's a place over here that does Taco Tuesdays. I think it's 99-cent tacos, so learn how to stretch that budget. You can still go out. It just means, again, don't wing it. Don't just decide you're going to go somewhere on a whim. have some sort of plan. Like if you're cutting coupons and you're pulling stuff, you'll have a good choice and a selection of where you want to go.
Yeah. Speaking of winging it, B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, we love going there. And they have the buy one, get one wings on Tuesdays. And well, right now it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's different. It's like traditional or boneless. And yeah, we can grip on some wings. There's no question, but we only go during those times because we get such a great deal on those. The other thing too is when you talk about looking for deals, a lot of times, like right now, a lot of people are doing the takeout thing because of the whole quarantine and staying out of the restaurants and thing. But try to do that more regularly, because the less you're in the restaurant, you also spend less on other things while you're there, like drinks. And we're going to be talking about that here after the commercial break. Stay tuned. Hey, if you love planners, this is for you. Do you know why planners frustrate me, though? Because they only get it half right. Now, sure, they're really fancy at helping you manage your time, which is really important, obviously, but where they get it wrong is money. Now, I believe that there are two important resources that you need to have control of in your life to have success. One is time, and the other one is your money. And most planners don't include any financial planning, and that's frustrating. Things like keeping track of paydays and when bills are due, spending habits, yearly expenses, budgets, cash flow planning, debt elimination plans, goal planning. These things are a real pain in the butt, because then you have to create your own. And who has time for all that? So instead, what happens for most of us? Nothing. We tend to ignore our finances even more, and things only get worse. Well, that can all end today. I am so excited to announce the release of my brand new, totally awesome debt freedom planner here this year. Now, before you say, Brad, I already have a planner. Now, I'm going to here to tell you that this is not an ordinary day planner. This Debt Freedom Planner is a companion tool that works with your day planner to help you save more money, pay off debt, and melt away financial stress. This is the tool that we've all been waiting for. Also, if you're not a paper person, maybe you love spreadsheets or electronic versions, we've got a digital version available to you as well. So head on over to the realdebtfreedad.com, click on the Debt Freedom Planner in the menu at the top of the page. Get all those details and order your very own Debt Freedom Planner today. Hey guys, we are back and we are sharing 6 easy money-saving tips for eating out. This one is really easy, but it is so easy to ignore. And it is just don't go hungry. This is probably so simple to do, but again, with lack of planning and losing track of time, it's easy just to go when you're super, super hungry. And what do? We order more food than we can eat typically, right? So what I would suggest, and what's really worked for us, is before you go out to eat, and again, this is especially important if you're on a strict budget, make sure that you have something before you go. Like not right before, but an hour before, have something before you go. Because if you go there when you're super hungry, you're going to bust your budget every single time.
So no more saving my appetite. That's like one of my, sometimes like some of our favorite restaurants. It's like, I'm not eating anything all day because we're going to that place tonight.
Yeah, right. But
I mean, what about the all-you-can-eat buffets, though?
There you go.
That could be a little different, right? Now that could be a little different. But
all-you-can-eat sushi.
But seriously, just take some time and just don't go super, super hungry, because you won't spend money that you don't have to on food that you're not going to eat anyways. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there who don't like leftovers. I'm a big leftover fan. I love leftovers. But there's a lot of people who just won't eat them, and they'll let them sit in their fridge, and then they just throw that food in the garbage. So don't go hungry. Next tip is water and lemon, right? This is such a big one. And so many people, you think about sodas and the drinks, especially the alcoholic drinks. And we've got some actual statistics here. Alcohol, what is it, 1,150%?
Yeah, markup.
That's the markup on alcohol? Oh, my God.
On average, up to 1,150%. Soda can be up to 1,000%, and coffee up to 2,900%.
Wow.
Imagine the coffee that I get after that has the alcohol in it. That's like way up there.
And when I read this, I was like, man, that just doesn't seem right. But then I like to drink I'm not saying don't ever have a drink with dinner. I like, one of my favorite drinks is a Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
So anytime we go out, if we go somewhere different, I always, if it's on, I just order one because I like to try them from different places. But almost all the time I go, I mean, they're $8 to $12.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
for that drink. And when I look at it here, if I go buy the stuff here, if I go buy the bottle of vodka and a lime and the ginger beer, I mean, it's dirt cheap. I can make 100 of them, or, you know, I mean, for compared to what, just if, you know, if I have 5 drinks, I mean, it's $50. I mean, I can make them for a month here, you know, with my own stuff. So that it adds up very quickly.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm the same way. You know, I like to have a couple of drinks when we go out to eat. But at the same time, it is the most expensive part of the bill. It really is.
Yep.
And it's been one of those things that for Sarah and I that we've really cut back on over the years, but we still do it. But when we were broke, we weren't doing it at all. We were doing the water and lemon, please. So if you're on that paycheck to paycheck side and you're still, you know, saving that emergency fund and paying down debt, again, this is one of those areas that you could easily cut out. Just eat the meal, then go home, and like Ryan said, make your stuff at home, and you'll save yourself a lot of money.
I mean, if you're a server and you're listening right now, shut it off because you're not going to like what I'm going to say. But we're avid tippers. We tip 20%. We grew up in the restaurant industry, so we tip a lot. But if you eliminate the drink and you eliminate the dessert or the appetizer, oh my gosh, not only does your bill go down, but your tip goes down too.
Yep, it does. I mean, the whole cost of the whole meal is it goes down tremendously. Yeah, there's no question about it. And that's one of the reasons, you know, I brought up the diner that we go to. That's one of the reasons why we're able to eat there so cheap, because they don't sell alcohol there. There's no, like, so all we do is drink water. We don't drink, we're not soda drinkers. We don't drink soda. So we don't really order anything else but water. So our bill is really, really inexpensive. So again, we've found ways to work within our behavior and save us some money and be able to go out to eat even more often by going to some of those cheaper places. Last one, and this one took me some time, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when me and my wife first met, I hated sharing my food. I just hated it. She would always be like, "Can I have a bite of that?" And I would think to myself, "No, if you wanted this, you should have ordered it." Well, that was way before I even realized, like, from a financial standpoint, there's probably some really good things that we could do here to save some money. And now that we share more, I get to eat more different, you know, lots of different things. But we're also able to order differently, allowing us to save the most money when we do place the order.
Yeah, for us, it was, I mean, we share a lot, but it is a challenge because I can't hardly ever get my wife to agree where to go to dinner, much less than when we get there, what are we going to share together? Like, I want the steak, she wants the salad, or, you know, we go back and forth. Like, I don't know, like, how do you share that?
We've always shared our meals. And what it does is it allows us to get like our favorite appetizer, because now we're sharing a meal. We could add on something else to share.
You think about the portions that they have on a lot of the stuff that's out there. And again, if you're going to one of maybe these kind of higher end restaurants, obviously the portion sizes are smaller. But if you're going to these typical kind of sit down places, I mean, the portions are way more than what most people, you know, can eat in one sitting. So it's very simple to sit down and share something and make the most of it.
And that's what pushed us to share more. Is I still don't love sharing all the time, but in the same respect, I mean, we're not huge eaters, and we are not like you in the fact that we will not eat leftovers a lot. Like we'll take it home. Like we'll be like, we're going to eat it. And then it'll sit in there and grow mold, and then we'll throw it away because we just feel bad. We feel bad that we didn't eat it. But so we really just make a point to share because typically we just can't eat it all.
So with just a few simple changes and spending a little time, you can save yourself tons of money, freeing up cash to save your first emergency fund and pay down some debt. And I would just recommend go ahead and get started. And obviously some of these tips are pretty basic, but they're also so basic that you can overlook them. And sometimes the most basic tips are the most powerful ones. So I would definitely check these out.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
All right, all right. That sound means it's time for the celebrations of the show, and we're going to kick it off here today with Chrissy Wright. She says, big week for me, paid off $1,230 in debt, including paying off one card. Check this out. She joined Roots January 26th, and as we're recording this, it's May 26th. So what is that, 5 months? Is that 5 months that we're... Yeah, it's 5 months. Is it, or is it 4 months?
4 months. 4 months.
Is it?
4 months.
Yeah, it is. Wow. February, March, April, May. 4 months. Sorry, Chrissy Wright. 4 months. As of today, she has paid off $10,850 in 4 months.
Wow.
She says she's starting to really feel pumped. I would be too. That is some amazing progress in just 4 months. Congratulations to you.
And Brittany Haferman, I only have 2 payments left on one of my doctor bills that was over $1,000. Been working on it for a while, but it will be done in July.
Awesome. Great job, Brittany.
Amanda Cora. So I paid off my last 2 credit cards this week. I had $22 left on them, and now they are at 0. I'm debt free, baby.
Awesome. Way to go, Amanda. Congratulations to you. Andrea Nicole Champlin paid off 2 more credit cards, now to start on the ones with big balances. Still working on getting kinks out of the budget, but that's okay. I will get it eventually. And yes, you will. It takes time. You just be consistent and disciplined with it, and you'll find that you'll be much better at it.
Sam Lamb completed our June budget, paid all our bills this week. We were also able to put $515 towards our emergency fund, which means we now have over $1,100 in our emergency fund. Yay!
Woohoo! Way to go, Sam.
And Jessica Erbst, with all the bills I have paid off, I now have enough to pay off my next credit card in full next month with my snowball. I am loving this snowball.
Awesome. Way to go, Jessica. Congratulations to you and to all of those amazing celebrations. You guys are doing such a fantastic job. And if you want the latest from the show, be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our channel. And oh, by the way, if you heard that commercial about our Life Without Payments free course, you can head over and find that at therealdebtfreedad.com. Just click on tools and courses, and you'll have access to all of our free tools right there. We'll see you guys on an upcoming show.